I'm Steven Hunwicks. I'm a senior lawyer in the intellectual property, technology, privacy and cybersecurity team at HopgoodGanim Lawyers. The first is what is your goal in paying that ransom demand? It might be to unlock your data if that data has been encrypted or you can't recover from backup copies of your data. Alternatively, you might be paying the ransom in order to reduce or remove the risk of serious harm to any of the individuals who might be named in that data if that data were to get out and be published on the internet. It's not actually illegal to pay a ransom in Australia. That is, there's no specific law banning doing that. But there are a couple of laws that you'll want to also take into account. There are provisions in Commonwealth and state laws that make it an offence to pay money in a situation that might be similar to a ransom demand. And these are where you are reckless or negligent about whether the ransomware payment might be used to further another crime or as proceeds of crime to help the criminal perpetrate other crimes against more Australians. Additionally, it would be an offence if you were making a ransomware payment that contravenes or is made to a prohibited organization, a sanctioned organization, one that's either by name, by type, or by country on a blacklist maintained by Australia or the United Nations, for example. So those are a couple of situations where a payment like a ransomware payment could be prohibited by law, but there's no categorical prohibition on doing that. So in light of those circumstances, if you're thinking about making a ransom payment, you'd want to check on the individual or organization that's demanding that payment and evaluate whether you can actually make a payment to them. Again, if they're on those blacklists or in those circumstances, it may be better not to make the payment. Again, generally, we'd recommend not making a payment. That approach would be in accordance with the guidance from the Australian government and most of the regulatory agencies. But we haven't also identified any circumstance where someone's been prosecuted for making a payment in order to overcome a ransom demand in the case of a cybersecurity incident. There is also a legal defense of duress that might be available depending on the circumstances, but this is very context specific and you'd really want to get legal advice before you decided to make a ransom payment in those circumstances.